This is going to be a hard pill for some of y'all to swallow, especially in the shipping community here. But there are two things you need to understand. Guili were supposed to be implied to be romantically involved with each other. Since in a beta, we had a volume of Liu customs that described romantic implications of Gaizhong's and Zhongli's relationship, which already means that Guili isn't a bad ship or straight just for the sake of straight like some shippers say. And before I get attacked, here is another thing that y'all need to understand, especially straight shippers and people who don't read lore. This volume is a beta content. Therefore, it's not canon in the actual lore that we have in game. So saying that Gaizhong was Zhongli's canon wife is outright incorrect. And it's a take I hear from lore skippers, not actual Guili fans. Because anyone who read lore will see that there are no statements in the game that confirms them being married. And another thing that makes my blood boil is when some shippers are trying to erase canonical relationship between Gaizhong and Morax. Like WDYM Zhongli forgot Gaizhong. They never cared about each other and they weren't even close or friends, just allies and colleagues. Let me remind you that canonically they were very close and best friends. They literally ruled Guili assembly together, and they never had any contracts with each other despite them being coup rulers, which speaks of deep trust, especially from Morax's side, who makes contracts with everyone from close people to strangers. And he still remembers his best friend Gaizhong, which is painfully obvious in the lore. Now, everyone may like or dislike some ships and stuff, but disliking something doesn't give you the right to dismiss canon relationships between characters in the lore. How can you consider yourself any better than those lore skippers who claim Gaizhong was Zhongli's canon wife? If you yourself ignore the lore and diminish Guili's canon friendship? Bottom line, Guili weren't strangers, but they weren't canonically together either. Read the lore and don't be biased. Peace.